breakfast and then come back in 10 minutes when we're ready.
Hello everyone, DAdvisoor here with the Frankencoin Association, and I'm with none other than Luzius, the Frankencoin Association board member and inventor, I should say. How are you, sir?
Great, I'm good. So a very nice conference, and yes,
we should say we're at Crypto Valley Zug right now.
Yes, this is the Crypto Valley conference once a year, and everyone, the who is who of the Crypto Valley is here.
Very nice one. You've also actually attended the panel earlier discussing the future of Swiss regulation.
Yes, so Switzerland has a self-regulatory system for smaller crypto asset service providers, and I think this is key to the success because innovation happens bottom up and not top down. So you need to have small companies that engage in the risk-taking, in the experimentation. And these small entities, they need to be supervised by other small entities like the SROs, the self-regulatory organizations, that then are close to these companies, that can accompany them, that can reasonably manage the risk. And the big Mordor-style, huge financial supervisor wouldn't be able to do that because their attention is on the big items and the big risk. They cannot pay proper attention to small risks. So that's when you have this fine-grained supervision, that's a secret sauce that can make a location like Switzerland more successful. And that's why we should preserve that way of supervising the smaller and more innovative entities.
Most definitely agree. I think that on the panel itself, you've touched exactly on a point that, if I remember it correctly, you've said that the big companies would prefer even like negative regulation because once there's regulation happening, the smaller actors, it's too expensive and difficult for them to handle it.
Yes, economically, regulation mostly brings fixed costs. And the fixed cost is most harmful to the small players. So if you're a big bank, you might be tempted to support even nonsense regulation that only brings costs because it eliminates the small competition. And this is kind of an unholy alliance between the regulators who like to have more power and the banks who like to have less competition. So they both have an incentive to favor regulation, even if it makes no sense.
I actually wanted to ask you on the panel itself, but they ran out of room for questions. What would you say that the Swiss people themselves should do now, like with this situation? How do the Swiss maintain their very unique hub?
So the Swiss should be open-minded to innovation. The Swiss should be proud of the system they have, and they should look into how to make it more competitive and to play out our strengths. So there's a big tendency to be conformist, to do it like everyone else. And this makes sense from a politician's perspective, but it doesn't make sense from a marketing perspective. In marketing, you need to seek a unique selling proposition. You need to be different than everyone else. Exactly. And the same we should do.
And by the way, you've even mentioned on the panel that Switzerland is inherently expensive, so you have to bring out your strong side rather than just try to play the same game, because then you're actually in an inferior position because of the costs.
Exactly. If we offer the same financial services as everyone else, we can only compete through costs. And that doesn't work because Switzerland is too small and too expensive to compete on costs.
Definitely hope that the sovereignty ethos of Switzerland keeps being reflected. Within your regulatory environment. Before we wrap up, share some thoughts maybe about the situation of Frankencoin as it is right now, as a protocol, ZCHF itself, the stablecoin, and where do you hope that it goes forward in the next few months, maybe the rest of the year?
It's very nice to see this organic growth, to see the system growing on both sides, on the savings side, where we are now at 12 million Frankencoins in the savings module, with a total money supply of over 30 million, and now more also organic growth on the borrowing side. So I'm looking forward to see this growing, and I hope that we reach a money supply of 100 million by the end of the year.
Wow, quite a mission.
The one asset that is currently being proposed is the BGB token from the BitGet company. And I think it's very nice to see this kind of organic growth and interest in the Frankencoin. It plays into the strengths of the Frankencoin system, which is very versatile and very open to collaterals that might not be liquid enough and not be traded enough for other DeFi systems, because we don't rely on Oracle, we don't rely on instant liquidations. We have a slow liquidation process, which can be a disadvantage with high liquid assets that need to be liquidated fast, but it's an advantage with assets that are maybe a little slower to liquidate, and we can afford to take them on board.
Definitely will be exciting to see the proposal, how the community accepts the proposal through the governance process. Any additional message that you want to send to the community? Anything else?
That's all. Keep building, have fun.
Thank you very much. Thank you everyone for tuning in. We are here at Crypto Valley Zug. See you soon.